Hello, I'm Sensei Frank and welcome back to Tech Tiger Martial Arts. One of the most important riddles that a martial artist can understand is what is the difference between a move, a technique, and a skill? By understanding these differences, the martial artist's training sessions will have a deeper meaning. They'll be more effective and they will have a greater growth in their training sessions. I'm Sensei Frank, this is Tech Tiger Martial Arts. Let's begin. Okay, so let's talk about moves. What are moves? Moves are nothing more than a pathway by which we learn how to handle different situations. And moves are very, very important. They are the most necessary part of your martial arts because they give you the path by which you learn how to train and how to become effective. So for example, let's talk about the back knuckle. Now the back knuckle is a simple move. All you really want to do is take the back of your hand and hit your attacker in the face and then come back. But really, how hard is that to do? Well, it is very hard simply because your attacker is just not going to stand there and let you hit him in the face. He's going to be moving around, he's going to have his guard up, he's going to be throwing kicks and punches back at you. And so it is very hard just to hit someone in the face with a back knuckle. But by learning how to do a proper back knuckle, just learning how to do the move, it is the beginning of a pathway by which we learn how to develop our martial arts. Okay, techniques. What are techniques? Techniques are things that the practitioner does that has a greater effect on the opponent than it does the practitioner himself. So for example, let's look at the back knuckle. I'm here, I'm throwing my back knuckle, and let's say I'm able to hit my attacker in the face. But he just looks at me. The technique he doesn't affect him. It doesn't do anything to him. Why? Well, basically because there wasn't a true purpose on how and what you were trying to accomplish with your back knuckle. And that's why techniques are important, because they give you a sense of purpose of how you're going to affect this attacker. So for example, we have a whipping back knuckle, which is the hand comes out and it just whips back this way. And if you hit somebody with a whipping back knuckle, it does affect them. But what is the purpose for a whipping back knuckle? Well, there are two purposes. The first purpose for the whipping back knuckle is to measure the distance between you and your opponent. You're gauging the distance to see how far he is in comparison, to give you an idea of where you are in the fight. The second purpose for a whipping back knuckle is simply speed. You want to hit this guy as fast and as hard as possible, so speed is the main purpose. But the whipping back knuckle is not the only technique that you can apply to a back knuckle. There's another thing known as the J-hook process. And the J-hook process is when you throw your back knuckle out, you make a little hook at the end with the two knuckles. Your hand will just hook at the end, make a little return circle, and your hand will come back. Now the purpose for the J-hook process is penetration. So if I'm just whipping my hand back like this, when I make the J-hook process happen, it has a deeper penetration. And that deeper penetration will have a greater effect on my attacker than it has on me. So if we're here and I'm throwing my whipping back knuckle and I know I can touch this guy, then I would want to do the J hook back knuckle on my attacker to have a greater effect. But there's even a third, a fourth, a fifth technique method to back knuckles. One more is just the simple pounding method, when you're just putting your whole body into it, you're driving into him, and you're just smashing this guy. Now, all three of these things are very important to understand. They're important to understand what you're trying to accomplish and how you're trying to accomplish it, because in the end, it will allow you to stay in the fight and recover. So, techniques are very important, but they are not the greatest part of your martial arts. Let's talk about skill. Okay, skill. What is a skill? A skill is something that the practitioner does that has a greater effect on the practitioner than it does the opponent. For example, balance. Why is balance so important? Well, basically, balance will simply give the practitioner stability or mobility in a fight. Not only that, balance will also help in adding to the speed of a technique or the power of the technique. By developing balance, the practitioner will have a greater sense of where they are and what they're trying to accomplish. And through this, their moves will be effective. The techniques applied in the moves will be more effective. And the practitioner will develop more confidence and power in his martial arts. But the thing to skill set development is that there are keys, different keys that will help you to develop in your balance, for example. In the skill set of balance, there are 10 keys that a practitioner should understand and practice in order for him to have the best balance that he can have. For example, one is the 45-degree drop down. Now, the 45-degree drop down, it's when the practitioner moves and drops the weight at the same time, allows three things to happen. One, it allows the practitioner to develop power from the legs, from the ground up. Two, it allows the practitioner to have stability and strength in the upper core. And three, it allows the practitioner to become stable or mobile when pressure is applied. Skill set pressure testing is what needs to be trained with in order for the moves to have great meaning, for the skill sets to become significant enough that when somebody does a move, it looks amazing. Pressure testing also needs to be applied for the techniques to actually have the effect that the practitioner is looking for. And by developing the skill set, the technique will have a greater impact in the move. Skill set development, super important. It is, in my opinion, the most important thing that a martial artist can train to develop. And in order to truly train and develop a skill set development, it's important to understand your moves. It's important to apply your techniques so that you can make your martial arts the best that it can be. I'm Sensei Frank. This is Tech Tiger Martial Arts. We'll see you next time. Hello, I'm Sensei Frank, and thank you for watching Tech Tiger Martial Arts. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment on our videos to help us grow. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.